So with the Chicago style pizza, we're going to do a pretty simple marinara sauce with just a little bit of extra herbs and a little bit of spiciness added. And the reason we add some of these extra flavors in is that this pizza sits in the oven for quite a while, and so you can get some nice effects out of just kind of letting these flavors sort of sit and percolate as you're working. So it's like your basic marinara. So we've got our San Marzano tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can. And again, you're using the whole tomatoes because you want to preserve that kind of fleshiness of it. You know, a little bit of olive oil, let's just call that quarter cup, I don't know, something like that. I like to use some fresh herbs. Here I'm using a mixture of basil and parsley. I really like parsley in my pizza sauce. You wouldn't think, you don't always hear about that in either, you know, a lot of kind of Italian cooking, but parsley I think works really nicely. But if you have oregano or just basil or anything like that on hand, or if you're working with dried herbs, that's just fine. Any sort of Italian herb style stuff. Teaspoon of salt, give it a couple of cracks of pepper. We'll call this about half a teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm going to just take my garlic press, and I have one kind of big fat clove of garlic in there. You want to go for, I don't know, about a teaspoon or so of garlic, but let's call it a fat clove. And then just like anything else here, I'm going to mash this up a little bit. You can, if you're feeling adventurous, break this up with your fingers, but I like to mash. And especially with the Chicago pizza, I really like to retain some of the shape of those original tomatoes. So I would err on the side of not breaking this stuff up too much and just kind of letting it do its thing. And then from there, I like to let this stuff just sort of sit for at least about 45 minutes to an hour, so that those flavors can kind of gather and do their thing before they go on the pizza. And so this is all coming out of this 28-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes, and this will give you more than enough sauce to do 2 pizzas.